Cure Search for Children's Cancer, as Greg mentioned, is the charity beneficiary of this event. And as a member of the board of directors, I want to thank Greg and the Franklin Templeton Shootout for your continued support of Cure Search for over 20 years now. I cannot tell you how much we appreciate it and all that you've done for us. I'm also here tonight as one of the Pro-Am competitors. We have sponsored and played in the Shootout for 16 years now. And while I thoroughly enjoy the competition, camaraderie, being able to hang out with these wonderful golf professionals, the real reason that we're here is because of the efforts of Cure Search and our support for it. It's very personal to me and my family because we lost our 13-year-old son, Scott, to lung cancer. So just imagine, if you will, your children, your grandchildren, and the doctor calling to say your child or grandchild has cancer. Your reaction would probably be like mine. Really? Kids get cancer? Well, believe it or not, cancer is the #1 disease killer of children. That's the fact. Well, the only thing that's going to change that is research. And that's what Cure Search is all about. Cure Search has put together this phenomenal team of pediatric oncologists across America that has determined which projects that they believe is going to have the greatest impact and get that impact the quickest to the bedside for those kids. And now our responsibility is to raise the funds to support those research projects. And that research, or the fundraising, comes from many different avenues. It's from this tournament. It's from a tournament we have, the Scott Carter Eagles Golf Classic, and many other local tournaments like it. It's from corporate sponsors. It's from individual donors. It's from Cure Search walks. We just want you to be a part of it for us, so that one day, every child who is diagnosed with cancer can be cured. Each year, Greg has been so kind to invite an extraordinary young person who has fought cancer, and for that person to share his or her story with you about the courage, the hope, the resilience, and the survival. This year, that guest is very special to me and my family. Scott had his leg amputated when he was 10. And while he was recovering from that amputation in Omaha, Jill Stevenson, now Jill England, was also diagnosed with that same cancer. And they asked Scott to go visit with Jill and encourage her. He did, and they became very close and very fast friends. And despite the 30% chance of surviving osteosarcoma, I'm proud to say that Jill has. She is now married and the proud mother of 2 rambunctious, wonderful little kids. She is now a dental hygienist and said that the reason she got into the medical industry was because of her battle with cancer and all that she went through. So please join me in welcoming Jill England. Jill.
Good evening. Imagine mouth sores lining the inside of your mouth so painful you can't eat or speak. Imagine losing your hair by the handful. Imagine your new home is a hospital bed and your mom has to sleep in a chair next to you for over a year. Imagine your doctor telling you he's going to have to remove your leg in order to save your life. Now imagine you're 9 years old. Pediatric cancer is a cause that is near and dear to my heart because it hit close to my home. As a 22-year cancer survivor, I'm so proud to be standing here with you all tonight. The fight to find a cure begins here. In the summer of 1991, I had just finished my 3rd grade year, and like most 9-year-olds, I looked forward to a summer filled with swimming, softball, and games of kick the can with my friends. But my life quickly changed as I was diagnosed with osteosarcoma in my right leg. My diagnosis came as a complete surprise to me and my family. I'd been having leg pain off and on, and after limping around the softball field, my parents decided to take me to the doctor and have it checked out. We anticipated growing pains or a pulled muscle to be the culprit, but we weren't so lucky. The doctor examined my leg and saw nothing alarming, but he wanted to take an x-ray to be sure. Shortly after, we found ourselves in a small exam room staring at my leg on x-ray. To me, it looked like random shades of black and white, nothing important. But what I didn't see was the large black tumor on my femur. In that moment, my parents understood the gravity of what we were facing, and their hearts dropped. As a child, there was no way for me to know the magnitude that black spot would have in my life. So I stood there staring at my parents and the doctor with a huge polite smile on my face. My life from that day forward was changed. The next week was consumed by biopsies, tests, surgery to place a port, an immobilizer for my leg, and now walking exclusively with crutches. The crutches were fun for about 15 minutes. My first round of chemotherapy was just 7 days after my diagnosis. The whirlwind had begun, and my family and I flew by the seat of our pants. My protocol included roughly 12 months of chemotherapy and a radical but innovative surgery to remove my tumor and affected leg. I would spend 111 days in the hospital that year. As my treatment progressed, the side effects caught up with me. I was too sick to attend school, so I was homeschooled. Mouth sores kept me up at night and made it impossible for me to eat. My hair fell out, and just the sight of a chemo bag made me queasy. There were nights I would lay awake thinking, hoping cancer was just a bad dream. I wished I would wake up in the morning and not be lying in a hospital bed, bald, weak, and throwing up. I prayed that life would be easier. Unfortunately, cancer was my reality, and I would forge ahead fighting for the day that I could say, I am cancer-free. We faced cancer one day at a time, and on the bad days, we took it 1 hour at a time. My surgery day was a major milestone for me. It took over 12 hours and a team of doctors to complete my rotation-plasty surgery. I have always said the day of my surgery was the best day of my life because I woke up alive and without cancer. After surgery, I fought hard to learn how to walk again. I proudly progressed from a wheelchair to a walker, to crutches, to a cane, and finally, I could walk using only my prosthesis. It felt like absolute freedom. However, many children fortunate enough to survive cancer carry their own struggles for a lifetime. For me, a heart problem resulting from chemotherapy, fertility concerns, leg sores, self-image struggles, and ongoing prosthetic needs are some of the many worries and challenges I have faced and will continue to face for the rest of my life. What makes children so special is the immense hope, love, and optimism they bring in the face of adversity. This often makes treating children with cancer both awe-inspiring and heartbreaking. What helped me make it through this difficult time was my support team of doctors, nurses, friends, other kids going through treatment, and even complete strangers. They rallied around me each day and helped me to keep fighting. They made it bearable for me. Oftentimes they fueled me with the security I needed to tackle another day with bravery. We all have struggles in life, and these hardships are made easier when we have people supporting us through the difficult times. Reach out, do something, big or small, it all makes a difference. We are here tonight to make sure that no child has to do it alone. What makes CureSearch unique is their comprehensive outlook on pediatric cancer. They understand that while research funding is crucial, the battle doesn't end there. CureSearch provides outreach for children battling cancer as well as their family, because cancer affects more than just the patient. The role of family is especially valuable in pediatric cancer. CureSearch offers research funding, medical information, online support pages for the entire family, and videos walking patients through common medical procedures. Children will fear the unknown more than anything, which makes education a powerful resource. The outreach CureSearch offers gives children and their family the opportunity to learn more and fear less. But most importantly, they learn that they're not alone. There are other moms, dads, brothers, sisters, grandparents, and friends that are all facing the very same struggles. One of my greatest supporters was another child who was battling cancer himself. His name was Scott Carter. When I first met Scott, I saw a bald boy with big glasses and an infectious smile. We instantly became friends, and he guided the way for me. He inspired me to be courageous and supported me through each step of my journey in a way that nobody else could. Much like the CureSearch videos do today, Scott prepared me for the good, bad, and ugly parts of childhood cancer. Scott was a great mentor in my life, and he unfortunately lost his battle with cancer at the young age of 13. He continues to inspire me every day, and he is the main reason behind me speaking here tonight. Because when I think of a cure for pediatric cancer, I think of Scott. During my treatment, my oncologist talked about an osteosarcoma tumor they had growing in the lab. He predicted they would find a cure within the next 10 years. He anticipated children diagnosed with cancer would be given a vaccine to treat their cancer and subsequently cured. How amazing would it be to live in a world where kids don't have to battle cancer, lose their lives or limbs, a world where kids can be kids. However, here we are tonight, over 20 years after my diagnosis, and we're still searching for a cure. That tells me we have work to do, and it's nights like tonight that make research possible and move us one step closer to our goal. My battle with cancer ended July 1992, 13 months after it began, and I came out on the other side a stronger person. My husband Eric and I are thankful to have two energetic sons that I consider to be second-generation cancer survivors. Because if it wasn't for the treatment and the research that I received, they would not be here. We have the power to lift the burden of this awful disease. Let's fight for a cure for the children who have lost their battle, for the children who are suffering today, and for the next generation of children who will suffer from cancer unless we find a cure. The fight to find a cure begins here. Thank you.
That was amazing. That's as good as you're ever going to hear in terms of why you're here, why this whole cause has lasted 25 years. This tournament means more than just a golf tournament. And all of you here have made the extra step. The money you provided in order to play and to be here today has helped. However, there's one other opportunity you could have to add to this, and that, of course, is the pencils that are in your table right now.